Welcome back to Co-Founding Diaries. I'm Laquanda,
And I'm Tiera,
and we're your entrepreneur
entrepreneur
besties.
bestie.
All right, besties. Today, our topic is going to be on consistency, and it's going to be consistency over perfection. So, I like this topic a lot. I feel I struggled with it for a long time, especially in the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey because I was Delulu. I would say I was a bit Delulu only because I didn't have mentors. I was only looking for me. I did like seek out advice. Oh, we get straight into it. But I did seek out advice.
She was ready to talk about this.
Not well, I guess because like hold on, I'm not gonna get sidetracked, but
It's
I
relatable. It
definitely
relates to
relatable.
your story.
I did seek out advice, but it was more so like, what do you think? But when it came to my entrepreneurship journey, I really took it personal, and a lot of things that I learned on my own. Whether it's like seeking out podcasts, my personal development journey. Obviously, I did have other people to talk to, but I took the initiative for most majority of all of it. So that's why I like this topic a lot because I struggle with consistency a lot. I went in thinking that it would be straight line, like 100%, that's what it give. But honestly, it's not that. And I really want to talk about this because I seen a post on social media and it had so many likes and reshares. So obviously, so many other people feel the same way. And
Oh,
basically, the post,
absolutely.
huh?
I say, oh, absolutely.
So yeah.
I think in every story at some point, whether it's in the beginning or midway or even towards the ending, at some point everybody struggle with it. It may be in different moderations of it. Um, But honestly, I think something you were saying was not having a mentor through it. It almost seems like, I mean, you would want a mentor and it helps to know things. But honestly, I feel like going through stuff actually makes it better.
Hmm.
Like you learn life is a teacher, essentially. Like like going through things is the best teacher. It's almost like the analogy I always use as being a mom. Like you can tell your kids everything, like because you see it. You can say, "Hey, don't do this because if you do this, this is going to happen." Or I've seen it so many times, so I want you to go this way. But they don't necessarily always learn from that because sometimes you have to go through things to actually understand or realize how to do it differently. So like even us starting this podcast, like we've learned and grown so much, but it was through trial and error, which honestly was the best teacher in reality.
Yeah, it definitely was the best teacher, like you said, because you get clarity, and that's the best you can like somebody can tell you what to do, but we all learn different. So you probably will more likely still make the same mistakes, but you'll catch it faster versus some as other people, they take them few more times to catch on to that mistake versus when you have somebody guiding you. I agree.
Yeah, so although it's like we want to know, and sometimes it's helpful to know, but sometimes even if you know, you still it's almost like a like if somebody say that's hot, don't touch that. Like sometimes you just can't like your mind doesn't compute it. So sometimes it's like a late reaction of things, like or it's like, is it really? Let me see. You want to try it out type of
Hmm.
thing. So that's why I said like honestly, like I wanted a mentor and like everything in life, like going to college, all the things. I wanted mentors and I feel like I could have been better, but in reality, I feel like I ended up coming out better because I actually went through it and found my own way. So it's like bittersweet, but it's at the same time, I feel like it's rewarding because it's like, dang, I really did this because I figured it out, you know,
Hmm.
through going through it, through going through the struggle and everything. So it is helpful to know, but we're also like lucky because we have all these tools that people put out there, like books and uh, books and podcasts, like you said, you turn to podcasts, you turn to books. Now you can have like digital mentors. I think we talked about this on one of our other calls, where it's like somebody could be your mentor, but they're not really mentoring you. They don't even
Hmm.
know, but like you're following their journey. You listen to every word they say. You know you like them, and you feel like they fit your type of entrepreneur that you want to be. So you kind of like model after them. So there's just so many ways to get the information without necessarily having an actual physical mentor or somebody that you pay.
And yeah, and lately I've been hopping on a lot of webinars lately. And I just can't, my new process when it come to this was in the beginning, well, last year I took a webinar and it was very helpful. And it came back around again. I was like, well, I already did it. But then I was like, you know what? Let's just do it again because the first time it was a lot of good information. I did act on some of it, but I also feel like
Probably was a lot to absorb at
it's a lot
once.
to observe, and sometimes it's good to hear things multiple times. So I was like, let's just do it again. So that's my approach. So nowadays, a lot of times when I see people who's credible and they're offering webinars, whether it's like nighttime, any time of the day, I just hop on and do it, and it's just like background noise. So maybe I can pick up on something, or the message become clearer too. So that's been
Or
very.
something resonates with what you're going through at that time, because that's another thing. Sometimes, like, say for example, like when I first was starting my entrepreneurship journey, I was all about fashion. So I went to like a fashion thing, and it was before I even actually started. I hadn't actually done anything. So it was like a lot of information, but it's like, wow, I'm not there yet. Had I actually started my business, honestly, I think that training or that course may have been more pivotal in my business at that time. But that's why I said it's depending on like where you are and what things will resonate and what things will actually be helpful. So it's like everybody's journey is different. So it's like you find when or where the information can be valuable.
Yeah. That's basically what it is. And also, I really want to talk about this because I like that. Honestly, when it came to creating my brand Fem Duo, for the most part, I did plan, but I kind of consider myself as just learning as I go.
I
Because
mean, we all are, let's be honest. Everybody is learning as they grow. Like when you listen to people's stories, when they start telling you, like even one of your favorite people, what is her name? Moulin Rouge. She was like just figuring it out. Like, I'm just gonna set up shop here, I'm gonna talk to my people. And then you learn quickly that, oh, maybe this isn't your audience, or maybe you
Mhm.
shouldn't be doing it here, or maybe there's a different way. So in every room or every situation that you enter, you actually learn something from it, and then you can take that and apply it to your business. So that's why I think trial and error honestly is the best teacher, because you really figure out what works
Yeah.
versus having everything handed to you.
But if you take that method, what I was going to say is give yourself grace because in
Yeah.
and just self-reflect and don't well, okay, this is me talking to me, you guys, and this is the advice that I'm not
Yeah,
trying
take your own advice.
yeah. Yeah, so like because I never looked at it that way, but every approach is different. So
Yeah.
if you do just take that risk and learn as you grow, you do have to just look at the small wins and give yourself grace because you actually nothing have to be perfect. I struggle with perfection a lot, but I'm finally at that age where I'm sorry, not the age. I'm finally at that journey where I'm letting it go and just you you
Honestly,
you're
though,
doing it
so
right.
if
Even
we
when it
could
comes to
go
our
back to
pod, I want
perfection,
to go back to our podcast with Tiera said, and I was like, we had some hiccups, but I feel like we was consistent. Like it wasn't 100% each week, but we stayed, whether it was in the front end or the back end, we reached majority of our goals, and we're still
honestly, I feel like that's the whole purpose of like taking people on a journey. So, like when you watch people, even like the best basketball players, if you watch them from the very beginning, like people who really study basketball or people who really studied fashion, anybody who you idolize, there's always a story behind it. And when you go and watch their story, you can see where they started. And half the time, people start from nothing. That's the whole point. Like You start from nothing, and as you start from the bottom, you start to grow and you learn and you pick up new things and you find a better way. Like, oh, I didn't like that this time, I'm gonna do this. Oh, this time that didn't work, so I learned to do this. And like you just get better. It's like being around people who have the information that you need is like iron sharpens iron. So like you learn, you pick up tips and tricks and you apply it and you just keep going. You learning as you grow and you can see it's like so much beauty in that
The
whole
journey.
glow up, I should say. Because it really is a glow up. Like even us, me like watching season one until now, like I feel like season two is like night and day. We almost look like so professional and I feel better. Like it's not as cringe. Like when I'm watching it, I don't be like, oh, like, oh, I didn't like that or this was bad. So it's like I feel like we're finding our footing. And that's what you do with any journey.
Yeah, and longest you know what? And you know the hardest thing at the hard part is that you put so much work and you want immediate gratification. But a lot of times a lot of times you don't see the results until maybe the third quarter or the fourth quarter or maybe next year. Like right now for our podcast,
Oh my God.
we started prepping last year and now we're at the same time that we was at the coffee shop around the same month. And look at us now, you know?
But it's so sad because like I think there's so much beauty and that's why we're showing this. We wanted to show like the growth. So like yeah, we started. The beauty was in starting. It wasn't perfect, but you can also see that we've learned and grown through starting day one to now where we are. And there's so much beauty in that because it's like we get wiser, we get better, we perfect things. But the sad part is that most people don't actually stick around to see things through.
Mm,
Like you said, because people want instant gratification and we have access to social media and all these things, or you're looking at people and you're looking at their chapter 100 and you didn't even see where they was at chapter one, two, three, four, five. It's like, you're not going to get to 100. You have to do the work. And I think that's the sad part about anybody starting on an entrepreneur journey. Like, yes, it's beautiful and it can be something amazing, but you have to have what we talk about the willingness to be consistent, the willingness to actually put in the work, the willingness to work through the hard times or work through the times where you feel like I want to give up or I'm tired today. Like, honestly, I'm tired today, shit, but I'm here.
friend, when the
I'm
lights
tired
come on,
today, but the willingness to just pick yourself up and do. I think I said that on one of our podcasts. Like the difference between the successful people is the people that just do, who just do the thing versus trying to perfect it. Like we can, and I always tell you that, like we can perfect that junk later. Like let's just
just
do
do
it
it.
because
Yeah.
then we can play it back, we can watch, we can critique, and if we didn't do that, it's like, what are we going to critique off of? What are we going to learn from? We can't just start perfect. We have to start at the bottom and
Mhm.
work our way. And honestly, like I said, I can see now, like we're in season two, but like season three, four, or five is gonna be great. But it's like we had to go through season one, two, and three to get us to that point. And I think we need to show more, like you said, gratitude, appreciation, and grace in those moments and just do the thing. Keep doing the
That's
thing.
it, bestie. That's what consistency look like, just doing it. Whether you're giving 10%, 40%, 50, 80, 90, or 100, just do. Whatever you can do, just do. And that's what it boiled down to.
And if you
That's what
watch last
consistency is.
episode, if y'all watched the last episode, y'all will see we had our girl on who's been in business over 22 years. And people will be like, oh my God, how'd you do this? Like, that must be crazy. But like, she was doing a lot of like crazy, unconventional things. But look at where just doing the thing got her. She just was doing the thing. She was doing it messy. She was doing it scared. She was doing it uncertain. She didn't know if she was gonna get paid half the time, but she just did it.
Yeah.
And just doing the thing gets you somewhere for real. It really
And
does.
one thing I also have learned, that's why on my Instagram story I said, just being around Rachel, it was a full circle moment for me, is because this is the things I prayed and wanted for, to be around somebody who have expertise and actually have sweat equity in the game, and you can learn from basically what Tiara said, iron sharpen iron. Not only that, she learned from us and we learned from her. And basically the point I'm trying to get at, you're gonna always go through these emotions because the landscape of entrepreneurship always changing. So whether you wait until the perfect moment, which I don't think it's ever a perfect moment, but whether you wait or whether it's and you do execute at the moment you thought was perfect, but what about 10 years from now? Something is going to come what's going to shift whatever industry you're in, and you're going to have to start back over, and then you're going to have to master and go through those feelings and that journey again.
And that's
It's
what's so
repetitive.
beautiful, like you said,
You're never
in
at the same
having
spot.
friends.
Huh?
Because on another podcast, we talked about that, about like the emotions of entrepreneurship. And the guy we talked about was emotional intelligence coach. And he talked about like how, and this is why they say like entrepreneurship is part business and part emotional, because if your emotions are not intact, that's those people are the quitters. The people who are just emotionally unstable, like you just emotionally can't fail. You emotionally can't gather your thoughts to say, it's okay, let's pivot. It's okay, let's still do it. It's not perfect. I don't like it, but I'm still going to put it out there. Like you have to have that understanding in your head to know it's going to get there. And things don't always go as planned, but how do you pivot and how do you still accomplish the goal? Because whether it's perfect or not, you still are accomplishing a goal each and every day. And when you show up and you do the thing, you're accomplishing a goal. So, like, just training your mind to say, okay, maybe I did 3 things out of the 6 things that I wanted to do, or maybe I did 2. It's still a win because you did something. You just didn't quit. So that's what we like constantly remind ourselves. Like even we all get down on ourselves, but also like you said, having that iron sharpen iron, having people around you to remind you, like, hey, you're doing good. Like, hey, you know, it's probably not the best in your eyes, but to me,
Something.
on looking from the outside in, I think you're killing it.
Hmm.
So like sometimes you need like those small reminders. That's why they say like too, sadly, like you know, we get in business, we want people who we know to support us. But there's actually so much beauty in just getting in those rooms and being around those people who know what it's like to be an entrepreneur, who know what you need to hear, uh, different emotional tools and tips and tricks that you can practice to get yourself grounded and understand that you're in for a journey. You're in for an emotional roller coaster, baby. You're gonna be high, you're gonna be low, you're gonna be high, you're gonna be low. Are you equipped for that? Because that's what you really got to know first and foremost going in. And when you understand that, like nothing is gonna get to you.
And if you're not equipped, it's okay. Just go
It's
ahead
okay, you can get there too. It's still,
and get
it's just
there.
work.
Yeah.
You have to put in work, regardless of the fact you're working. Are
Mm-hmm.
you ready to work? Whether
But
it's on your emotions, whether it's on your project. Sometimes some people are good at projects, but they aren't good emotionally. Some people are good emotionally, they aren't good at projects. Just finding a good, healthy balance with it all, because it's a lot for sure.
entrepreneurship is a lot. Being a creator is a lot. Being a founder is a lot. Nevertheless, besties, just find your tribe and just do it.
Find your
Don't
tribe.
you
Find your tribe.
just find it. And it's gonna all align. And if you're doing the work, um, it's going to align. You're gonna be put in these positions. It's all gonna work out. Trust me.
And you're
If
gonna
you almost
learn and you're
feel
gonna see
like
like, this I had to go through this to get to this point, and this had to happen for me to understand this, or I had to follow this person to then get aligned with this person. Like things happen all in divine timing. I always tell you that, like it's in divine timing. Like if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. If it's not, I'm not forcing it. I don't care. Like what's gonna be is gonna be, and that's just it. So like the emotional part, I think, is the what helps with the consistency. Like just having the will to just understand that, like I just need to do. I just need to do until the reward then comes, because the reward isn't instant. It's not the instant gratification. It's a
you
false
don't
pretense.
want instant, like you really don't want instant gratification because it fades fast. As fast as it comes, it fade fast, and also it may come with consequences too that will probably set you back. So it's probably better just to put in the work and just do. And those are the moments that like, oh, like Tiera said, I put in all this work and you see it all pan out. Those be the best moments. Cause you take
It's
those,
like, dang, when you start to get down on your stuff and then stuff start to happen, you're like, dang, and I was just about to quit. Like,
it be the smallest things. Like, I
like,
gotta go
oh
back
man, that
in.
just melted my heart. Like, we was like, okay, we was getting to burnout. We was like, we about to take a break. And then we got all these guests on, and it literally just like refueled us, and we powered straight through our break, y'all. Like, how crazy is that? It's really energy is just so transferable. Like, we were dead, literally near burnout, and get we got just all this energy, all this positivity, all this, just being uplifted off of two conversations. It just made us feel like, you know what, we going, we just keep on going. So that's why it's so important to put yourself in the right rooms and be around the
Mhm.
right people who want and are doing the same things that you're doing, because it's really hard to do things by yourself. And I think that's why people struggle with consistency, because sometimes people think that entrepreneurship, or they say entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, right? But in reality, it's not lonely when you surround yourself with people who have the same mission. Maybe y'all not partners, but y'all both are doing your own thing on your own separate realms, but y'all can come together and understand each other and help, you know,
Balance.
bounce ideas and tell each other things that works for each other or what's working for you. You could probably add that into your business, different things like that. There's just always something to be learned, really. That's another thing. I think you have to be like a constant student,
Yeah. Oh. So I want to go
because if
back.
you're not, then it's like you can't be stuck in your ways. It's like, oh no, I'm only doing it like this. Nah, that's not gonna work.
I want to go back to what you said about entrepreneurship. I think it's both, to be honest, because when you on that, everybody's self-development journey is different. So I think that's when the lonely aspect come in. But with the other aspect of entrepreneurship, that's when community come in. So it's both for me personally, and also just knowing who you are. And I feel like I thrive better when I shut the noise out because then I'm getting overwhelmed. That's when
Yes, I
for
think,
it's
but
like
the
but
noise sometimes be ourselves. It be our own thoughts of like demeaning like what we're doing. Like you said, the perfection part, that's noise. That's noise in your head saying this
I
isn't
hate
right.
that.
Oh, I need to redo it. And like, no, you don't. Like, you need to shut that side of things. It's your own noise. It's not necessarily like people, really, because you know what you have to do, and you know that you should just be doing it. But in your mind, you're like, oh no, it needs to be perfect. I need to perfect this. I need to do it over. And it's like, honestly, that also holds people back from being consistent, because it's like, if you, like you just said, you said it earlier, like, if you're waiting for a perfect time, most of the time that time isn't going to come. So, like, when you understand that, I think you can produce more. You could just do versus stopping yourself, because there's a lesson to be learned in just doing. When you keep doing things, like I said, even with our podcast, like, oh man, that mic wasn't right. Oh man, that angle wasn't right, or oh, the lighting wasn't right, or we should have did it this way. Like, we learned and we're grown from each time. So even though it wasn't perfect, we put it out there and we were able to sit back and analyze. But what if we didn't have anything to analyze?
Well, I think it's when I say shut up the noise, I wasn't talking about that aspect. I mean more so the work of it. Like you plan it, but now it's time to execute. But not, I do see your perspective when it comes to that. But for me, um, but partially the noise, shutting out the noise, like you said before, is it goes back to knowing you though, right?
Yeah,
When to
yeah,
release the work.
yeah.
And like I said before, I did struggle with being a perfectionist, so that shutting out the noise could harm me, but also it can help you. But it goes back to knowing who you are. But I also realize I do thrive that I thrive best when I have strict boundaries in shutting out the noise. to a certain
Yeah,
degree.
and I think everybody definitely you have to. That's like kind of like trial and error too, though, because it's like you don't know until like you put it into situations like you're like, okay, that's not working for me, or maybe I shouldn't do this because maybe I don't do well in that environment. So it's trial and error because
Down
if
there,
you
yeah.
don't do it, then you won't know. But then if you do it, then you're like, okay, I learned from that. I ain't doing that no more. So
You
it's
hit
trial
right.
and error like you still have to do. So that's why I say that just do the thing regardless. And then there's something that's going to come from it. You're going to learn a lesson, and the lesson then helps you get to the place where you want to be, essentially.
Yeah. I love, yeah, you basically summed it all up. And what I took from you was just do it. Just do the
Just do
work.
it.
And that's how you stay consistent through it all. And also, make sure you give yourself grace.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, essentially everything we're seeing in a nutshell is like a lot of times we be like our own worst critic. Because I have people say to me all the time, like, girl, I don't know how you do it. I would never. First and foremost, that's the number one problem. The
Mhm.
fact that you're telling yourself you could
You would
never.
never. And also, when
Because there's
somebody
so
told
much
me
power
that,
in your mind and in
when
your
somebody
tongue. Like,
told me
don't
that,
say
like, I
that.
don't want to be around, I'm sorry. I want to be the one who's fueling me, not doing that, because then doubt would creep in my mind. And I'm like, okay, you're not on the same level, mentality,
Absolutely.
same goal as me. So I'm just shift.
Like the you say, I don't see how you do that. Like, no, first and foremost, it's like two, like we're gonna do and make time and put in effort for whatever it is that we want. So even though there's 24 hours in a day, there's so much that can be done. And I don't care if you're a mom, you're a wife, whatever you need to do and you want to do it, you can get it done.
Hmm.
And it's just about your will and having a tough mindset. It always go back. I feel like Fred, every time we had any conversation, I always go back to my same thought every time, which is like, as an entrepreneur, you just got to have a strong mind
You too.
because there's so much outside noise. There's so many people, there's so many naysayers, there's just so much going on all the time and ideas and people putting input in on stuff. And if you are easily like manipulated or easily like taken off track by things, that also is going to hinder you because like you can't listen to people. Like you just have to go with your gut and know that your gut or your faith or God is leading you to something
Hmm.
because you're meant to do that. But because there's always so much going on and everybody isn't that strong, and honestly some of the most brilliant people are brilliant but they can never be brilliant because they just can't get past their own mind and the voices and the people telling them things negatively. So that's why they say you have to, work on your self development all throughout entrepreneurship because baby, you got to keep sharpening that mind to know like, hey, what I have is right. Just stay a course, stay
Yep.
the course, stay the
And believe in
course,
yourself. Yep.
and believe in yourself because it does get hard, and that's also where the loneliness creep in because then you start to feel like maybe people don't understand you or, you know, I just need to work on it myself. But it's really just about getting around the right people because they'll get it. They'll understand you a lot better for sure.
For sure. All right, Bessie. Well, that's gonna close our episode, Consistency Over Perfection. And I really, as you can see, Tiara and I both enjoyed this topic. Is there anything else you want to promote before we close out?
Um, Not right this moment. I am working on some things in the back end, so I'll be sharing soon, but not right this moment.
Okay. Well, as for me, you can always shop my website at filmduala.com. And also we are on social media website, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, shop.film_duala.com. Until next time, besties, bye.